Hey, it's day 4 of Crack Your Course Idea, and get ready because today is a big day.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Up until now, you've focused on what your course is about, and now it's time to focus on who your course is for. Because without students, clients, or customers, you can't have a successful online course.
Where's everyone?
So today, we're going to define your target audience, or exactly who is going to buy the damn thing, so you can laser focus your message on that specific audience. Because remember, specificity sells. Today, we're going to get you onto third base, so tomorrow we can land that home run online course idea. So, you ready? Let's do this. All right, so let's talk about your audience statement, which is a short description of who your audience is. And there are 2 kinds of audience statements you can choose from. What I call a tribe-based audience statement and a niche-based audience statement. And hold on, let me explain. Your tribe is at the intersection of who you serve and how you're different, while your niche is at the intersection of who you serve and what you do.
I'm confused.
So a tribe-based audience statement will focus more on the unique kind of people you want to attract based on your personality, your values, and your beliefs. Many people could create a course using the same approach, the same mega niche, the same micro niche, and maybe even the same core solution that you chose during the first 3 days of this experience. But nobody will create it in the way that you create it, which naturally attracts a certain kind of person and will repel others. For example, I've always taken a tribe-based approach. And the tribe-based audience statement for my course, the Experience Product Masterclass, is people who want to create profitable and fulfilling online courses that make a difference. You see, my audience want to be both successful and fulfilled. They're not just building a business or creating a course for the sake of making money. While money is important, they also want to make an impact through their course. They want to make people's lives happier, healthier, better in some way, shape, or form. Because of that, I don't tend to attract the pure biz-op people who just want to make a quick buck by any means or hack possible. My audience cares. Now, if I had chosen a niche-based audience statement that didn't speak to any of this, my marketing would look and sound different. Rather than targeting people who want to launch professional and fulfilling online courses that make a difference, I would be targeting people who want to grow their business with online courses. You see the difference? It's subtle, but there is a big difference. A tribe-based audience statement focuses on who you serve and how you're different, while a niche-based statement is laser-focused on who you serve and what you do. Now, here's the thing. It's easier to market to a specific niche than it is to market to a broader tribe. While a tribe-based audience statement gets you into the ballpark of who your audience actually is, a niche-based audience statement gets you into base. For example, if you're running paid ads, it can be easier to do audience targeting around a niche-based statement. My friend Scott Alford built an 8-figure business using the niche-based audience approach with his courses and programs. His audience statement is entrepreneurs who want to grow 7-figure business. That kind of simplicity is powerful. Let me give you another example of a niche-based audience statement from my student T. Cordron. Her weight loss breakthrough course helps women over 40 struggling with losing weight and keeping it off. And my student Carol Parker Walsh designed her course around corporate women who want to become entrepreneurs. Do you see the clarity and simplicity in these niche-based audience statements? Now, let me give you a few more examples of tribe-based audience statements. My friend Sonia Ricotti built a 7-figure business around helping people who want to bounce back quickly after life has knocked them down. Can you see how that's a little trickier to target than just say corporate women who want to become entrepreneurs or people who want to overcome food addiction and achieve permanent weight loss? But this audience is true to Sonia. They'll stick with her through thick and thin. So it's worth it for her to take a more challenging approach. She wouldn't be happy just helping people bounce back from a specific situation, like bankruptcy or divorce. She's not interested in simply creating a profitable course. She wants to create a course that's fulfilling for her and impactful for her students. She's my tribe. You see how this works? Friends of mine, Eben Pagan and Annie Lala, also took the tribe-based approach with their Love Dojo courses. They're focused on couples who want to love each other for life. They're not interested in serving couples who have one foot out the back door at all times. They're focused on couples who want to work it out no matter what. If they had chosen a niche-based audience statement, they perhaps could have focused on newlyweds or couples recovering from infidelity, but that's not where their heart lies. They want to work with committed couples. Students Kerala and Shetan also took a tribe-based approach with their courses on human design. They serve people who want to know themselves more fully and are seeking greater self-awareness to create a more successful and fulfilling life. If they were taking a more niche-based audience approach, they might focus their course around, for example, people who want to use personality assessments to help them choose a career path, or people who already know they want to use human design to help them choose a career path, or employers who want to use human design in the hiring process, or even people who want to give human design readings as a service. So are you seeing the difference between our two approaches for choosing a target audience and writing an audience statement for your course? The tribe-based approach and the niche-based approach. Neither approach is better than the other, and both approaches will help you get to your home run online course idea. A niche-based audience statement is often simpler, clearer, and easier to understand and market to, while a tribe-based audience statement allows for greater depth and alignment, but can be trickier to market. So your mission today is to write either a niche-based audience statement or a tribe-based audience statement. Keep your statement as short and simple as possible. What are the fewest number of words that you can use to convey exactly who you serve? More words often create confusion rather than clarity. There are, of course, a few key things to keep in mind as you write your audience statement to avoid the mistakes that so many course creators make that lead them to creating a course that sits on the shelf and doesn't sell. Remember the profitable niche checklist we talked about yesterday? You learned how to use criterions 1 and 4 in choosing a micro niche and a core solution that addresses a specific and acknowledged market need, and a target audience that's open to solving their problem and willing and able to pay to have it solved. Those 2 criteria still apply, and today you're going to apply all 7 criteria to your audience statement.
Can't wait.
Okay, so here we go. Criterion number 2 is that your home run course idea is targeted at a specific kind of person. Let's call this person your ideal client, and ideally, this person self-identifies with the way that you describe them. Can you see how someone would clearly self-identify with being a corporate woman who wants to become an entrepreneur? Absolutely. Carol's audience statement definitely meets this criterion, in addition to criterias 1 and 4, which you learned yesterday. Now, criterion number 3 is that you must be able to identify one specific person who needs that problem solved. So when you share your audience statement, you instantly get a clear mental picture of someone specific who needs your online course. You know you're on the right track when you share your audience statement or the course mission statement that you'll be writing tomorrow, and someone says, "Ooh, you should talk to my friend Susan. She really needs what you're talking about." Can you see how Carol would get this response when she shares, "I help corporate women who want to become entrepreneurs"? Absolutely. So she can check this one off too. Now, criterion number 5 is that you can easily reach your target audience through your existing network, referral partners, Facebook ads, or some other form of networking or marketing that's within your reach to do, assuming you have the right training and support. Carol spent the first part of her career working in corporate, so she knew this audience well and had access to them through her existing network and connections. Which brings us to criterion number 6. There needs to be enough members of your target audience for your product to be profitable year after year. A good rule of thumb is that there are more than 10,000 people on the planet who can easily be reached through your marketing who want what you do. If there isn't, you can make money, but it becomes just really hard to scale your business. You'll hit a ceiling that you just can't seem to break through. Now, maybe you're asking, Murray, how the heck can I know if there are 10,000 people who want my course? And believe it or not, a simple Google search is going to give you the answer to that question. Now, when I Google how to leave my corporate job and become an entrepreneur, I get about 70 million search results. And while this doesn't correlate exactly with the number of people in Carol's audience, it sure gives you a sense of how much this topic is being talked about. So based on 70 million results, I think we can safely assume that Carol can reach at least 10,000 women in this situation. Now, if you really want to shoot for the stars and reach a bigger audience, go ahead and bump this number up from 10,000 to 100,000 or even 1 million. Based on these search results, I'd guess that there are at least 1 million people in Carol's target audience. So there's huge potential beyond our minimum criteria. But all you need to get started is at least 10,000 people. Now let's talk about our final criterion, number 7, which is you can actually help this person solve this problem, and you would enjoy it too. Fair enough, right? Criterion number 7 is the easiest criterion to meet, and for many people, the only criterion they consider when choosing their course idea, which often leads them to creating a course without an audience, a course that sits on the shelf instead of flying off the shelf. One of my EPM students was on his way to making this huge mistake. He was a rabbi who wanted to support Jewish men in recovery from prostate cancer who were struggling with intimacy and sexual dysfunction. Now, that's what I call a triple niche. By trying to target 3 overlapping audiences, Jewish men in recovery from prostate cancer and men who are struggling with intimacy and sexual dysfunction, he was making his audience way too small. Okay, so let's hit the Googletron to see how we're doing here. When I search for rebuilding your sex life after prostate cancer, I get about 28 million search results. We also have to assume that half of these searches relate to women, so that takes our 28 million down to just 14 million. Now, when I search for a percentage of Jewish people on the planet, I discover that it's less than 1% of the total population. And 1% of 14 million is 140,000, which, while search results again don't correlate exactly to audience size, a little bit of research makes it clear that this niche may not be big enough for my student to be successful. Remember criterion number 6? There aren't 10,000 people on this planet who acknowledge this problem whom he could easily reach. And that's the important part. People who acknowledge this problem and can be easily reached. My guess is that not everyone who has this problem acknowledges it, and that it may be tricky to reach Jewish men who have this specific problem. So I coached him around focusing his audience on men who wanted to rebuild their sex lives after prostate cancer and not limit his audience to Jewish men, since that was a much bigger audience. Remember that our search turned up over 28 million results. Or if you wanted to maintain his focus on Jewish men, to widen his core solution to Jewish men who wanted to rebuild their sex life after cancer, and not to limit his audience to Jewish men recovering specifically from prostate cancer. Now, if you wanted a bigger audience still, he could focus on men who wanted to rebuild their sex lives after cancer and not limit his audience to either Jewish men or to prostate cancer. Because when I search for rebuilding your sex life after cancer, I get about 44 million results. So even if you assume half of those results relate to women, this audience is still 57% bigger. But remember, bigger isn't always better, and the riches are in the niches. My student could create a successful course specifically around rebuilding your sex life after prostate cancer, and I think that would be a great place to start. It's also aligned with the problem approach to course creation that he chose, since he himself had experienced firsthand the impact that prostate cancer had on his sex life. That was a niche that's not too big and not too small, but just right. Because the other mistake people make in choosing their target audience is going too big or too broad out of the gate. Yeah, that's why I didn't coach my student around creating a course on healing all family relationships after cancer, because that didn't feel focused enough. Plus, it didn't honor the spirit of my student's idea. And it's hard to speak to all family relationships, the parents, the husband, the wife, the children, in a single course. So you want to choose a target audience that's not too big and not too small, a target audience that's specific enough so you can speak directly to it. And that brings us to your mission for today. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to write either a niche-based audience statement or a tribe-based audience statement that meets all 7 criteria of our profitable niche checklist. And if you find yourself feeling stuck, just remember, there are people out there who are waiting for someone like you to step forward with the solution they need and want. Don't leave them hanging. The world needs the course that only you can create. So go ahead and complete this exercise, then collect your points for this session. You get 10 points for watching and 20 points for doing the work.